The morning I found those damned concrete barriers blocking my driveway for the third time that week, I just lost it. Standing there in the freezing Colorado dawn, my breath fogging up the air like smoke from a battlefield, I grabbed my phone and dialed my old army pal, saying those 5 words that would flip the whole script on our nightmare HOA queen. I need something permanently immovable. It was December, pitch black at 6 a.m., and I'm out there in my ratty bathrobe, my coffee mug forgotten on the porch steps, steam curling up like a ghost. Those 3 hulking concrete blocks sat there like sentinels from hell, reeking of fresh cement and diesel fumes that hit me right in the gut, making my blood boil hotter than any desert sun I'd endured overseas. Victoria Hargrove. That's what I'll call her now, though back then she was just the HOA president from Hades, thought she could push around some washed-up, divorced vet who'd cave under her endless fines and threats. She had no clue she'd poked a bear who'd spent 2 decades hauling tanks and heavy artillery for the good old US of A. 4 months down the line, she'd be ranting at TV cameras about my hostile concrete bunkers while loading up moving vans in total humiliation. All because she forgot the golden rule of any fight. Never back into a corner someone with more grit, more smarts, and endless patience to outlast you. Man, what would you do if your neighbor turned paperwork into a weapon against you? Spill your own HOA nightmare in the comments. I bet you've got one. My name's Alex Ramirez, and 6 months before this whole concrete showdown kicked off, I figured I'd finally nailed down some peace. At 52, fresh off a divorce that left me scraping the bottom of my savings barrel after my ex took her cut, I'd wrapped up 20 years in the Army logistics game, moving massive gear across war zones without a hitch. With what little I had left, I plunked down a down payment on this sweet corner lot in Oak Ridge Meadows, out in suburban Denver. The big draw? That gorgeous circular driveway. After years of barking orders and following them, my new gig as an IT consultant was my ticket to freedom. No boss breathing down my neck, just me calling the shots. That driveway meant clients could swing by, park easy, and not piss off the neighbors. I'd learned in the Army to plan ahead, always scout the terrain. So I pored over every scrap of paper before signing. Deeds, HOA rules, city codes. Zip, nada, nothing, banning a home-based business like mine. Then I met the local despot. Victoria Hargrove was 48, but acted like she owned the place since medieval times with her blinding white smile and that silver BMW she buffed every Sunday like it was a holy relic. She lorded over the biggest house on the cul-de-sac, the one with the fancy fountain that guzzled water despite all the drought rules. HOA pres for 3 terms straight. Should have been a neon sign screaming, "Trouble." Real estate agent by trade, control freak by nature. Our first run-in? Tuesday morning in October. I'm tossing server gear into my Chevy pickup when she pops up out of nowhere, clipboard in hand like a judge's gavel. No hello, no nice to meet you, just straight up invasion. "You need to relocate that commercial vehicle right now," she snaps, clicking her fancy pen like she's cocking a pistol. I glance at my 3-year-old truck, same as every other guy's in the hood. "Ma'am, this is my personal ride." "Which you're using for business," she fires back, eyes narrowing. "I've noted the traffic here, cars coming and going weekly. It disrupts our serene community vibe." Her perfume hit me like a chemical attack, overpowering floral crap mixed with hairspray that stung my eyes. But it was her condescending tone that really twisted the knife, like I was some lowly grunt not worth her time. Flashbacks to every ego-tripping officer I'd dealt with in uniform. I kept my cool, that stone-faced Army discipline kicking in. "I'll check the rules," I said flatly. She spun on her stilettos, then paused like she had one more jab. "Oh, and Alex, we keep things pristine here. Some folks just don't fit the Oak Ridge mold." 3 days later, bam, violation notice in the mail. $150 fine for unauthorized commercial parking, plus threats of $500 a day if I didn't shut down my business in a week. Printed on fancy HOA stationery full of legalese that would make a mob boss jealous. I spent the weekend buried in docs at my kitchen table. Deeds, covenants, county regs. Zip, nada, nothing. Banning a home-based business like mine. Then I tucked away on page 47 of the HOA manual a fuzzy commercial vehicle rule that's so vague it could outlaw Uber Eats. I called for an appeal. Her minion said the soonest slot was 6 weeks out. Fine due in 7 days. Textbook shakedown. Pay or bleed money while waiting.
She'd messed with the wrong guy, though. I'd handled real crises in the sandbox, lives on the line, not driveway drama. I forked over the cash, filed the appeal, and plotted. First, document everything. Cams up, timestamps, the works. Second, study her like an enemy target. Find the weak spots. Victoria Hargrove had just started a war with a logistics pro who won by out-preparing everyone. That first find stung like hell, a bitter pill I swallowed while plotting. Patience, I told myself, it's the bedrock of any solid plan. And I was building one she'd never crack. Those security cams I slapped up in November, best $800 I ever dropped. 4 HD beasts with night vision, covering my yard like a fortress perimeter. 2 weeks in, they nabbed gold. Victoria sneaking around my driveway at 11:47 p.m., tape measure in hand like a thief. Next morning, I'm nursing cold coffee, replaying the footage on my laptop. Infrared lit her up clear as day, her BMW parked blocks away, heels crunching frost, clipboard hugged tight. She measured every inch where clients parked, precise as a sniper. Audacity off the charts. She'd trespassed, at least on the edge of my land, gathering ammo for her next strike. Rage tasted metallic in my mouth, but this was her first big screw-up. She didn't know I was watching. Confrontation hit the next day. I'm loading gear. She struts up, fake smile plastered on. "Alex, about your driveway issues?" "Funny," I cut in, casual but seething inside. "Just watched some wild footage from last night. Didn't peg you for a late-night surveyor." Her mask slipped for a heartbeat, panic flickering before the grin locked back. "Routine community check," she cooed, venom sweet. "Complaints about your business disturbing the peace." "From who?" "Confidential." "Of course." I flashed her the still, her crouched in infrared glory. "This check? Board policy on midnight creeps?" Jaw tight, she spat, "You're obstructing harmony. Some don't get standards." "And some don't get trespass laws," I shot back. "Explain which rule bans my work." She droned on about vehicles. I was ready, having burned midnight oil on Colorado HOA laws. Vague rules meant squat in court, needed explicit wording. "Fascinating," I said, drawing it out. "Per Colorado Statute 3833-3209, enforcement needs clear language, no inventing rules." The air chilled, her smile turned lethal. "We'll see," she hissed. "Emergency meeting, Thursday, 7 p.m. That court was pure theater. 5 board drones at a table like inquisitors, Victoria Queen Bee. Handful of residents, none my neighbors. Her PowerPoint, Oscar-worthy, preserving Oak Ridge serenity. Drones of my house looking like a truck stop. Evidence of traffic violations, incompatible business, she proclaimed. Photos angled to make my pickup a monster, that one busy afternoon blown up. My turn. I rose, handouts ready. "Thanks for the show, here's facts. Highlighted covenants, home biz okay if no nuisance, trucks underweight limit fine. My logs, 2.3 visits per week, short stays." Faces lit up, folks reading real rules for once. "Plus this meeting, illegal. Bylaws need 72-hour notice to all. Email only, statute violation." Whispers erupted, boards squirmed. Victoria banged her gavel, "Proceeding anyway." But a voice from the back, "Table it for proper notice." Harold Jenkins, 70-ish retired lawyer, silver fox with courtroom eyes. Statutes back Alex's point. Boom. Ally found. Meeting died, board bolted. But Victoria's glare? Pure hate, promising more hell. Escalation dropped a week later. 6:17 a.m., bathrobe on, coffee run, and my truck's gone. Towed. Orange sticker on the garage, removed per HOA. Hands shook dialing the yard. 350 release, 25-day storage, cash only. It was in my drive. Talk to HOA. Orders. Word punched my gut. After real military chains, this? Harold showed with coffee, grim. Drive to lot, misery central, oil stink, razor wire. $350, grocery money, gone. Home uploading pics, doorbell. Mrs. Beatrice Thompson, 76, casserole in hand, eyes kind but fierce. Saw what that witch did, had to bring comfort. Widowed, dignified as royalty. Dish smelled like home. I needed it, nerves frayed. "Yes, you did," I said, voice thick. She spilled, the Miller's swing set torn down for aesthetics. Kid crying as dad dismantled under Victoria's watch. Couldn't fight, 2 jobs, no cash. How many more? The Gomez's Barden, Parker's dog pen. She's purging anyone not perfect. Rage surged. This was war on families. Post-casserole, I researched towing laws, predatory, treble damages possible. New file, Victoria's financials. If she hit my wallet, I'd hit back harder. Cams caught her next day, 6:23 a.m., snapping pics from her BMW. License, face, time, harassment, gold. Hunter hunted.
When the two patrol cars screeched to a halt in my driveway, lights flashing like it was a raid, my stomach twisted. 4 officers jumped out, hands on their belts, treating it like I was armed and dangerous. Officer Ramirez, a veteran with kind eyes and the patience of a saint, approached me first. His partner, Officer Hayes, a burly guy who looked like he could bench press a tank, hung back with a notebook. "Evening, sir," Ramirez said calmly. "We got a report of a stolen vehicle at this address." The absurdity slammed into me, leaving me dizzy. Stolen? In my own garage? "Officer, this is my car, my house. That's like accusing me of stealing my own TV." Laughter bubbled up, nervous and disbelieving, but fear kept it in check. Karen popped up beside them like a bad dream, still gripping her phone. "That's him! That's the thief! I just bought that exact Camaro yesterday for $45,000. I took a deep breath, the exhaust from the Camaro still lingering in the air, grounding me. "Stay cool, Jamal. Dad always said, paperwork beats panic every time." "Officers, I can prove this is mine right now." I pulled out my phone, scrolling to the album of restoration photos. Ramirez swiped through them, his expression shifting from skepticism to admiration. From rust heap to primed body to the finished beast. Me, in every shot, covered in grease, installing parts. "This is impressive work," he said, zooming in on the engine bay. "You do this for a living?" "Family business," I replied, pride cutting through the tension. Grandpa would have disowned me if I'd half-assed it. Karen, meanwhile, was losing it. "She's lying. Look at these." She shoved printed photos at them, stock images from some dealer site, no VIN, no nothing. Ramirez examined them politely. "Ma'am, do you have a bill of sale? Wire transfer? Anything?" Her face went beet red. "It's processing. Classic cars take time." While she rambled, I rummaged through my workbench for the binder. "Here's the DMV registration," I said, handing it over. "My name, my address, matching VIN from 18 months ago. Insurance, too. Progressive needed progress photos for coverage." His jotted notes, glancing at Karen's flimsy story. She was unraveling, her voice pitching higher. "He's forged it all. He's running some scam." That's when I pulled out the ace, the handwritten bill of sale from the estate sale. Shaky cursive from a 93-year-old widow. 1967 Chevrolet Camaro, as is, $3,200 cash. Signed Eleanor Hutchinson, with her number and date. Ramirez's eyes lit up. "This is solid. Ma'am, his documentation checks out. Yours doesn't." He turned to Karen, voice firm. "Filing a false report is a misdemeanor. You could face jail time." Her color drained, but her eyes flashed with something darker. "Must be a mistake. Stress from car shopping." As they left, I caught her watching me from her window, calculating. This wasn't over. The fear lingered, but so did a spark of determination. She picked the wrong guy to mess with. Monday hit hard. I shuffled to the mailbox in my rumpled work clothes, coffee in hand, and found an HOA violation notice. Unauthorized commercial vehicle storage. My work van, a plain Ford Transit with Thompson Auto Repair on the side, was suddenly a crime. $200 fine, 48 hours to comply. Karen's signature at the bottom, bold and smug. Through the window I saw her power walking by, glancing at my van like it offended her personally. She looped past 17 times that morning, I counted. Annoyance flared into resolve. HOAs are contracts, not whims. My divorce lawyer drilled that into me. Always check the paper trail. At lunch, I hit the county courthouse, digging through records like a detective. Turns out my van was bought in 2017, 3 years before the 2020 rule change. Grandfathered, protected by law. I drafted a rebuttal, attached proofs, and delivered it to the HOA office. The receptionist read it, eyes widening. "Mrs. Mitchell won't like this." She was right. By Wednesday, my mailbox was stuffed with more notices. Oil stains, I'd power wash monthly. Excessive automotive odors, what, the smell of hard work? Noise violations during legal hours. It was a paperwork blitz designed to wear me down. Frustration built, but I channeled it. Time to go high-tech.
I installed 4 HD cameras, cloud storage, night vision, the works. The footage showed Karen patrolling our fence line daily, phone out, measuring with a fancy yardstick. It was creepy, obsessive. My skin crawled watching her.